Kia ora, and welcome to Sir Vanington and a van tour because I am bored and really don't have anything else to do today during the lockdown because we can't take this bad boy out. Alright, so let's start with the front. As you can see, an excellently covered seat there, very professional looking. This is our kind of middle bit that was originally supposed to be for where the cats could sit, but they don't seem that interested, so we've actually used it for storage. So we've got a little mirror in here, we keep cable stuff in here, the fan is charging in here, this is amazing. It'll stay running all night long, and you can use it as stand up or clip, and it oscillates, and it is just so good. Bit of a lifesaver when it gets really hot at night. Dry shampoo, so that it's easy grab for me if I'm in the passenger seat. This is also our like kind of fruit bowl and snack bowl that again we can grab from the main bit of the van, but also if we're driving. And these are little mozzie nets that I can attach to the frame around the doors so that we can still have the doors open. A little cushion for passenger seat. This is where we store all our towels. So we've got about 3 billion microfiber towels that help to keep things dry. And behind the driver's seat we've got our drying rack and also our big table if we decide to have a kind of big cooking feast outside, or if we've got friends with us and we need a lot of space. So I think that's pretty much the front area. We've managed to collect a few little magnets and pictures and things from our little trip so far. Now I'll take you around the back. Alright, so this is the rear view. I'm going to have to be quick because I don't want to hog the pavement in case anyone wants to come through. But we've got a bit of a garage going on at the back here. This is like a fold-up bucket that we use for showers, and we've also got a shower curtain that you can put up against these hooks and go all the way around the door and make a bit of a like shower space if you want. We do the bucket bath because that's what we did in the Gambia for, well, Casey did it for 2.5 years and it was fine then, so it's still fine now. We've got our hiking boots and stuff. Casey's are behind the shelf. We've got, this is an amazing double moon chair sofa thing that is the comfiest thing ever. And we've got kind of some extra kind of flat chairs if we have guests with us, or I don't know, if we want to sit on the floor somewhere rather than on a proper chair. We've got our hiking backpack, 2 boogie boards, which are really good ones actually, and New Zealand has plenty of opportunity for that, which is awesome. And this is a big kind of Christmas tree box that goes all the way down. It's just massive and it's got everything in it, so it's stuff to kind of rescue us if we get stuck in the mud or sand or something. It's got lanterns, it's got inflatable games, cricket set, badminton set, table tennis set, like basically dartboard, any kind of activity that we might want to do, blankets, yeah, and basically anything. And we've got some more picnic blankets here. This is what we use as an awning. It's got some magnets sewed in, and then we've got some tent poles that we can kind of hook up. This is just water pipes to fill up the thing, and then you've got the fishing rods there as well. So yeah, heaps of storage in the back. Alright, now as we head in the main bit of the van, this is one of my favourite things. It's where we kind of dry our hand towels and face towels, and yeah, you'll see an orange yellow theme going on, a bit obsessed. But you could just like spin it out, so it's just a really easy thing to just put it out and let it dry out in the sun with minimal effort. And if we've got like bikinis or something, we don't want to bring the main drying rack out, we'll just replace this with the bikini and let that dry. This is just little bits of storage. We'll keep our phones up here so that they're easy grab, and we can grab them from the front as well. So when we often pack up the van and start driving, we forget and leave our phones here, but at least we don't have to get out the van. I love this. This is where we keep our sunscreen and some little pegs and deodorant and things, again, so that we can grab it from the front and the back, because usually we forget and we start driving and then we need to be able to reach stuff. But with the sunscreen you can just easily, whether you're in the van or out the van, just kind of push it down and get a good bit of sun protection. And similar, we've got one over there as well that has like the dish soap in and toothbrush and stuff, which is pretty sweet. And down here we've got a sweeping brush for the floor. This is a water filter, so if we're camped out near a river or something, we've definitely got access to clean water, and that's just another clothes kind of line. This can be extra storage for shoes, but we have another box like this in the cupboard so we can stack it if we're not using it, because it can also store our soda stream for a heavy gin and tonic weekend, and also the cat's food can go here if they are with us. And this is a nice big chopping board behind the chili bin. So this is not like the fanciest thing, but we have some frozen big water bottles that we just keep in here to keep things cool, and it'll last for a few days, and it's fine. Most of the food that we have doesn't really need, we mostly eat vegetarian when we're camping anyway, so we don't need to keep meat cold. This thing is amazing. It's a little stool, and I don't know if I can show you. Alright, I just wanted to do a proper demonstration of this stool to do it justice. So you've got it like this, and then you basically just go like that, and then you can pop it down on the floor, and it's amazing to sit down on, obviously, in the van or outside, or it's a good footrest, or it's even a good like little mini table. You can put your food and stuff on it, and it is just the best thing ever. So yeah, you just pop that away, and it's awesome because it's so easy to put away, but for some reason when we're driving it doesn't fall out, so it just seemed to work out quite well. This is one of those screens that we put in the window if it's too hot when we're driving. That's pretty handy. And I'll just close the door because we've got that 2 meter distance that I need to keep from people. So in here we've got some woolies that are kind of stored away but easy grab for when it starts to get cold. This is a switch for our kind of little red lantern lights that we only really use kind of to if we want to get in and out the van without bugs kind of getting in at night, but it does give a real good ambient look. And we've got some little twinkle fairy lights there as well. Oh, it's gone really dark. Then in here we've got kind of clothes pegs and things like that. There's some headlamps stored in there. Let's see if I can make it a bit brighter. Ooh. And then we've got jackets and stuff, and our little binoculars get stored in there. We've got games and things all in here, so it keeps us entertained. We've got cat leashes, a couple of thermal cups, toiletry bits and bobs, cat treats, herbs, spices, nighttime tea in here, and then over here we've got our massive sink, which is amazing. It just stores heaps of stuff, so we don't have to really worry about doing dishes as we go. We'll do it once a day and just fill that up in the meantime. That's our little water jug, which helps to keep things nice and easy. And then under the cooler we've got storage for shoes and our little flask that we carry on with us, and if we boil water we can keep it boiled. We've got a big first aid kit down there and a bit more shoe storage. This is a massive bin that we can separate and have recycling and normal rubbish in the one space, and that lasts us at least a week. If we're making an effort, we can probably easily do a 2-week trip with that. I'm not loving the plastic covering. I'll probably change that when I get around to it and I can go to a shop again. This is our plumbing, so we've got the 2 big water tanks for the New Zealand standard to be able to make this a self-contained camper van. This is an amazing drying rack that we can use, and you kind of pop it out and just leave it outside and it will be dry, and it's super handy. Doesn't take up too much space. This is our kind of main kitchen boxes. So in here we've got tea, coffee, mugs and all those kind of important bits and bobs. Here we've got cutlery, utensils, foil, all that kind of shebang. And then plates and bowls, and these are kind of thermal bowls, which are pretty sweet because they keep the food hot when we eat outside. And this is actually what I use for doing the dishes, because I always do the dishes outside, because why not? Why be inside if you can be outside? And it's just super handy because it uses very little water, and then but you can also have a nice big bowl then for food or something if you need it. And here we've got 2 saucepans, 2 frying pans, an Omnia Sweden stovetop kind of oven thing, which is amazing, and some Tupperware and serviettes. And then here we've got our kind of food boxes. This is also the liquor kind of cabinet, and it's tall enough that you can put a bottle of wine at the top, or kind of standing up. And also it's pretty handy because we can stack kind of other boxes at the bottom. So this is good because one of the cats likes to lie in this box, but then also you can use it for if we're getting a bunch of food ready and cooking it outside, we'll just put it in here because it's empty and ready to go. Or if we've got dirty dishes that we want to take to a camping sink or whatever, we'll just fill it up in there, and then we can easily clean it afterwards. So it's pretty sweet. Right, now for this side, so this is kind of what we keep water in, and we just basically put a bag of ice whenever we fill up at the petrol station, and just as it kind of melts, we'll just drink cold iced water, which is pretty sweet. And again, because it's here, we can fill it up either inside the van or more likely when we're outside, and we can just easily do it from out the door. This is our little pee bottle, which is very handy at night when you don't want to go outside, but you've got to go. We've got another little kind of table that we'll put on the bed if we need it down here, and then you can't quite see, it's too dark, but there's 2 little gas stoves. We didn't want the gas stoves to be handy because we want to be basically cooking outside every time, unless we absolutely can't. And that's why we've got kind of 2 little mini ones, so that when we if we do have to do it inside the van, or we can just, if we only need one, we can just grab one. It's not a big setup. There's also a fire extinguisher just around here and toilet roll storage. We've also got a little toiletry box here, which is super handy, easy to get to from outside and from in the van. And it just means that if we're at a campground that has a shower, we can take the box with us, or we can put it around the back if we have the bucket bath out the back, or just handy for when we're washing face and brushing teeth in the van. Yep. And here we've got our kind of main cupboard storage that we've got accessible from inside the van. So you can see the cat flap, and that's here because if the cats are with us, their cat litter goes basically behind this. But the last 2 trips have been 2 big trips that we don't take the cats on, so we've just got some plastic shelves with only dried and canned storage. And then on this side we've got the toilet and a bunch of books, but I won't show you that. Okay, now heading on to our wonderful bed. This is the comfiest bed that we've probably slept on, and it's a firm foam mattress, and we are going to be buying one of these for our house bed because it's comfier than what we've got at the moment at home. One of the things that we love about this van that we haven't seen a lot in other vans is this storage kind of along the side in the corners. So it doesn't really take up much space, but it just enables us to store stuff on the side that, you know, stuff that you kind of want to keep handy, or often when we're camping we only really have one outfit going at a time, so we just keep that outfit kind of stored up here. It still gets some air at night and stuff, and then we can just easily grab it in the morning when we wake up without it actually taking any surface space, which is pretty sweet. And we've also got some more of these screens in the back, so if we just pop that up, and then if it's really hot at night and it's just not quite enough to have the fan going and the skylight going, then we can also kind of put this here, stick it on the window, and then it means that the bugs can't get in, and it's pretty kind of secure, it doesn't fall off, and we get a nice little cross breeze going, which can be a godsend because it can get real hot here. Oh, and another thing is this is an old kind of seat belt bolt from when we first got the van, but now we use it as a hammock hook, so it's super sturdy because it's kind of originally was for, you know, proper seatbelt security stuff, and we just put the strap up to it, and then if there's a tree behind the van, the other side goes against there, and it just is, you know, means that we don't need 2 trees to have a nice hammock life. And yeah, also worth noting is the blinds. These are old woolen blankets that I got kind of cheap off Trade Me in New Zealand, and behind them is sewn in some blackout material. So they are thermal and blackout blinds, curtains, I don't know what you'd call them, but there's a curtain rod that goes all the way down. So basically once we take off these little Velcro things, which takes 2 seconds, then we just lift up one side and the whole thing will come down, and it's really easy to get down, and the difference it makes is insane. It just goes from being quite chilly at night to just being super cozy, and it looks like a blanket fort, and I'll put a photo up because it's pretty sweet. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the map that we've got on the ceiling. So this is one of those things that I thought was gonna be awesome, then it just was so much work, and I was thinking, oh my god, it's not gonna be worth it, and then eventually we actually love it because it takes away the kind of harsh whiteness of the ceiling, but it's still kind of bright colours and it's light, so it's not too heavy, but it's just a really cool kind of visual thing to have on the ceiling as well, because it's quite a lot of space to not have anything really. But it's a map, I don't know if you can see, of the Tararuas and the Greater Wellington south coast as well, and a bit of the Kapiti Coast, I think. So the idea is we can kind of wake up and be looking at the map and find some new camp spots that we can go to. But yeah, it's pretty cool. What else? Oh, we've also got our skylight, which I am so glad and happy that we put this thing in. Obviously it's a bit nerve-wracking putting a big hole in your roof, but so far it's been worth it. It just is amazing to bring more light in at the back, stargazing, bringing some fresh air in. Yeah, it's just amazing. And then these are the little kind of solar lamps that we have. We've got a bunch of these, and they're just so cool because we usually use them for the red light for kind of nighttime reading and stuff, but it's like a disco light, so you can have it rotate through different colours, and we have a bunch of them across the van, and it will just create a bit of a disco effect if we really feel that we need it, which we do more than you would think. Oh god, I've got to go through again now. Alright, and yeah, the other thing that I love about this van is the cushion situation. So because we've kind of got windows all along the side, we didn't want anything that would prevent us from sitting up on the side of the van, so these cushions can be easily moved, and we stack them up along the side if we want to be sitting along the side of the van and then looking out if we open the back door. That way, basically, wherever there's a nice view, we can make it work to sit comfortably and be able to laze around and lie down and enjoy it. This is a blanket that is an amazing woolen blanket that is very good for if we're getting a bit cold outside at night and we just want to kind of wrap ourselves in it, so it's handy and ready to go. But then also, once we go to bed, what we do is, these are our clothes cupboards. Probably should mention these. So we just lift these up, and we've got a bunch of little laundry bags that store our clothes in them, so it's super easy, low maintenance, easy to carry in and out and stuff. And they've got 2 each of those. But yeah, at night when I'm about to go to bed, I will put the blanket on this kind of covering the cupboards, which I think is a bit more insulation, but it also extends the bed, so it goes from being like a double bed to being more like a queen, because we've got this extra space, and the duvet is folded kind of on this side as well, so that basically once we get in the bed, the duvet cover can meet that end so that we can actually have like a bit more space, so that when Casey starts to roll around and hog the space, I can escape to this side, which works pretty well. At the back here we've got some cup holders which aren't amazing, but I did try to keep a cup here once full of wine and spilt it, and it went all down my clothes, and that wasn't ideal. So we've got these little cup holders now that at least I haven't been able to somehow destroy something by using them, so that's good. Earplugs and stuff like that, just in case, you never know. And we've got the books that we're reading whilst we're in the van stored at the back there, so they're easy grab as well. As you can see, I'm reading a book about Keanu Reeves at the moment, which is pretty awesome. And this is one of those like mozzie racket things, which is very, very essential for a van, because once they get in and you want to go to bed, you need to be able to get rid of them pretty quickly so that you can sleep nice and sound. Alright, I think that's everything.